Okay, so we're going to start in seated, and that can be any position you want. If you can do Sukhasana with either your legs crossed or one foot in front of the other, then you can. If that's not comfy, you can send your legs out long and do whatever feels right for you this evening. And as always, we're going to begin with a little movement, and that can look like anything really. So just move in line with what your body wants to do at this point. Breathing normally, feeling into the body, beginning to let go of your day and your week, and starting to notice where those stiff points might be, where the aches and pains might be, or maybe you're feeling nice and geared and loose and flexible already today. As you go through the practice, just move in line with what your body wants to do. There shouldn't be pain. So if anything doesn't feel quite right, sit it out, rest when you want, and take a drink when you want. So when you feel like you've moved around enough, let's let somebody else in. There we go. When you feel like you've moved around enough to feel into your body, you can kind of sit nice and tall and just take a few rolls of the shoulder with your hands just resting on your knees, just feeling into the shoulders, into the back of the neck, and then maybe just take it round the other direction. And then once more backwards, roll it up to the ears, down, sit nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let everything out through your mouth. We'll do that 2 more times. Nice big breath in. Release everything out. And last time. And release. And allow your eyes to softly close. And although we'll keep the back nice and straight, we're just going to relax those shoulders. Relax the hands a little bit against those knees. Start to breathe in and out through your nose if you're able. And notice how the spine feels and how your legs feel, especially if you're cross-legged. How are those joints feeling? And the hips and the knees and the ankles. And then turn your attention to your mind and begin to start to quiet the mind down, letting go of those thoughts one at a time, letting go of your plans and your to-do lists. Just letting those thoughts slowly drift away. But don't beat yourself up if you can't quieten the mind. The main aim is to just try to not focus on any one thing. So if you struggle with meditation, there's different ways of doing it. So you don't necessarily have to clear your mind. You could just focus on the sound that you can hear. So here I can hear some bird song outside. So if I wanted to, I could just focus on that and try and let everything else go. Or you could even count in your mind. So you're focused on the count rather than anything else. But we're now going to turn our attention to our breath and just observe where the breath is reaching, probably into the top of the chest. So we're going to deepen the breath a little bit, try and reach all the way down, filling those lungs, maybe even filling the belly. And then as you exhale, just feel yourself expelling every last bit of stale air. And we'll do that again. Breathe in when you're ready. And exhale. And we're going to begin with a box breath tonight. So in a moment, we're going to breathe in for 4. We're going to hold the breath in for 4. We're going to exhale for 4. And we're going to hold the breath out for 4. And we're going to repeat that a few times. Now, if you have any respiratory issues or if you're not feeling quite right tonight, don't hold the breath. Instead, you can breathe in for 4 and out for 4. That's absolutely fine. So when you're ready, take a normal breath in, and when you're ready, you can release that out. And then inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, in, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, out, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, 4, 3, 2, 1, breathe normally. And then when you're ready, you can gently blink your eyes back open, letting that light back in. And maybe take a little movement if you want to. Change your legs over if you need to move around a little bit. That box breath is really good at just bringing some calm to the body. So if you're feeling a bit anxious or a bit panicked, it can just help to calm the system down, calm that nervous system. So when you're ready, we'll sit nice and tall. Again, you can just rest your hands lightly on your legs. We'll take a nice big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the chin down to the chest, just feeling the stretch in the back of that neck. Inhale to return the head to the center. As you exhale, you can drop the head back. Inhale, slowly return. As you exhale, turn to look over your right shoulder. Inhale to come slowly back. Exhale to look over your left shoulder. Inhale to come slowly back and release the hands to the sides of the body. When you're ready to breathe in, we're going to reach the hands up, stretch up in prayer, and we're going to exhale and just turn over towards the right. So we're just bending the spine a little bit. And we're going to inhale to come back up. And we're going to exhale over to your left. Inhale, we'll do one more on either side. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale to come up. Exhale to bring the hands back down to your sides and take a little breath. And when you're ready, we're going to inhale. We're going to start to bring the hands back up. This time the hands will remain parallel. And just really stretch up to the ceiling as if you're trying to reach out of your seat. Exhale to bring the hands behind the back. Clasp the hands together. Pull the hands away from the body. So we're just pulling those shoulders back, starting to open up those shoulders. And then as we inhale, we'll release. We'll bring the arms back up. We'll stretch nice and tall, really reaching up. And we're going to exhale, bring the hands behind, clasp the fingers together, just gently pull the shoulders back. We'll do one more when you're ready. Inhale to lift and stretch. Exhale to come behind and gently pull the shoulders back. And then release, relax, take a little movement. Let's now twist the spine. So bring your right hand palm down, left hand to the right knee. Big breath in. Exhale, turn and look over your right shoulder. And this time we're staying in the twist, but we're breathing normally. So we'll feel that twist down the left side of the body. And then when you're ready, we'll breathe in. As we exhale, we'll slowly return to the center, release everything, maybe take a little move. And then bring your left hand palm down behind you, right hand to the left knee, big breath in. Exhale, turn and look over your left shoulder. And again, same thing, we're holding the pose, but not the breath. And we're just noticing how the opposite side of the body is feeling now. And then we're going to inhale. So we're going to exhale to slowly return, release, take a little move. And we're going to work on our shoulders a little bit as we're seated. We're going to do our cow's face pose. Now, if you can't do the legs, you can keep yourself in a comfortable seated pose because the main focus here is on the shoulders anyway. But if you want to do the full pose of Gomukhasana, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the right knee over the left, And what you want is for your feet to come out in front of you, almost as you look down like they're cow's horns, and that's where it gets the name from. Now, when your right knee's over your left, if you find your right buttock is up in the air, then you'll want to probably come out and just sit in a normal position. What we want is both buttocks on the floor. Okay, so once you've found your position here, so we've got right knee over left, we're going to inhale the right hand up, stretching up to the ceiling, bend at the elbow as you exhale, send the palm down the spine, and then breathing normally, we're going to take the left hand, bring it round the back, and what we're going to try and do is either get the fingers to meet, see if that's possible, you might even be able to grip them together, or if not, don't worry, just find your maximum position. Make sure you're seated nice and tall, so we don't want to be bending forward, trying to sacrifice our posture to get those hands to meet. And when you're in your maximum position, we're just going to sit nice and tall and breathe here. So this is really opening up those shoulders. We're breathing into the chest. We're working the legs as well at the same time. And if you wanted to work on the flexibility of your arms and your shoulders, what you can do if the hands aren't quite meeting is perhaps use a bit of cloth or maybe a tea towel or even a belt and hold that in each arm. And bit by bit, you might be able to get closer and closer to each hand. And then when you're ready, we're going to release one hand, then the other, take a little roll, and then bring one arm in front of the body, pull it into the chest with the other arm, swap over, do the same again, just releasing any tension in those shoulders, and then very slowly we're going to release the legs. If you want to, you can give them a little bit of a wobble, and then as always we'll bring some balance to the body by going over to the other side. So this time we'll place the left knee over the right. Again, just take your time getting your position, seeing those feet in front of you like cow's horns, checking both buttocks are on the floor. If not, come back into a comfortable seated pose. And then sitting tall, inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, bend at the elbow, reach the palm down the spine. Breathing normally, bring that right hand behind. If you can clasp the fingers together, great. If not, find your maximum position. Make sure you're sitting with a nice tall spine, and then just take some big, deep breaths here. And like with most of the poses in yoga, we're not symmetrical, so one side is usually a little bit harder than the other. And then whenever you're ready, nice and slowly, we'll remove one arm, then the other, nice and gently. Take a little roll. And then once again, bring one arm into the chest, pull it in with the other, switch over. And then very slowly, you can begin to untangle those legs, maybe send them out long, give them a little movement, see how they're beginning to feel as we open up those hips. And then we're going to come back into Sukhasana for a little bit more work on those hips. So again, sitting tall with the hands resting on the knees, we're going to gently move around to do some little Kundalini rolls, some little hip rolls. So as we move nice and slowly, really feeling into those hips, notice if there's any stiffness, maybe one side feels it more, or maybe they're feeling pretty good already. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll around in the opposite direction. One side might be a bit, or one direction might be a little bit more awkward than the other, depending on your hip health. And then we'll come to seated, and we're going to move into Bhadrasana. So if you can, bring the soles of the feet together and allow those knees to drop down to the earth. If that's not available, you can make a diamond shape with the legs and just rest your hands lightly on your knees. So whichever posture you're in, we're going to sit nice and tall, and we're going to take some big, deep breaths into your pelvis in this lovely meditative posture, which is really good for our hormonal health. Also good, obviously, at opening up those hips a little more. And if you want to, you can butterfly those knees. If that doesn't feel right for you tonight, then just stay in a static pose. That's absolutely fine. And then very slowly, what we're going to do is gently bring the legs over to one side and start to come up into a tabletop position. So take your time to get there. Bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet are on the floor. And if you want to, you can move a little bit from side to side, feeling into those hips a little bit more. Mine have just cracked quite nicely. And then if you want to, you can maybe move front to back a little bit as well. So we're feeling into the inner and outer edges of those hips as we move. And we're going to stay with the hips. We're going to do our lizard pose, which is a strong one. So if you do have any issues with your hips, you may wish to sit this one out. So what we're going to do when we're ready, and I won't mirror you for this, as you inhale, we're going to step the right foot to the outer edge of that right hand. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to come down as if we're coming down onto our forearms. Now, don't worry if you can't come down onto the forearms. What we'll do is just gently start to bend the elbows into your maximum position, where you can really start to feel that working on the hip, and you can just lower your head. So either or, onto your forearms, or just a bend of those elbows, lowering the head, really feeling that hip opening. And we're just going to breathe into this posture. It may feel uncomfortable, that's fine. If it feels painful, gently raise up on the hands, because we don't want any pain. And we're just going to breathe here in our lizard pose. This is a yin yoga pose, which can be held for quite a long time, but we're not going to do that this evening. We're just going to take a few more breaths here. And then very slowly, we're going to start to raise up on those hands. And in your own time, we're going to reach up with the right hand. Allow that right foot now to come to the center of your mat. So your hands are framing that foot now. And then we're in our low lunge. As we inhale, we're going to start to bring the arms up. We're going to reach to the ceiling, stretching the spine. And then we're going to exhale to bring the hand back down to the earth. As we inhale this time, we'll raise the right hand, twist a little bit to look up at that right hand. Exhale, bring that hand back down. And then very slowly, in your own time, you can bring that foot back to come into tabletop. Don't rush, no, you just do it in your own time. And then we're going to do the other side. So when you're ready, as we inhale, you can either step, slide, or walk the left foot to the outer edge of that left hand. And when you're ready, once again, see if you can come down either onto your forearms or just lowering those elbows a little bit. When you've found your position, lower your head. Breathe into that stretch of your hip. Notice if this side is more tight or a little bit easier than the other side. And then when you're ready, nice and gently, we'll start to raise up on those hands again. And then when you're ready, we can walk that foot to the center of the mat, frame it with both hands, back in our low lunge. And then as we inhale, we'll lift the hands up. We're going to stretch up to the ceiling, working your spine. Exhale to come back down to the earth. This time as we inhale, we'll raise the left arm, twist to look up at that left hand. Exhale gently back down. And then once again, in your own time, we'll walk, step, or slide that foot back, coming back into our tabletop. Bring your big toes together, bring your knees nice and wide as the mat may be. Sit your bottom back. Option either to come down onto your forearms and lower the head, or if you can, stretch the arms out long. Bring your forehead all the way down into our extended child's pose. Once again, working the hips, working those shoulders, keeping them active and stretching out the spine. And just take a few deep breaths here. And then nice and slowly, we're going to walk those hands back into the body, coming up into our tabletop. And we're going to do our thread needle to work a little bit more on those shoulders. So when you're ready, on your next breath in, you can raise up your right arm, twist to look up at the right hand. And then as you exhale, we're going to thread that arm under the left. Bring your right shoulder, right side of the face or head down to the earth. As you inhale, we'll unthread, we'll raise that right arm again, twist to look up. And then exhale to slowly thread. We're going to do one more inhale, come all the way up, twist. Exhale to thread. And this time we're staying down, so we're going to breathe normally, releasing any residual tension that might be in that right shoulder. And then as you inhale, gently unthread, come back to tabletop, take a moment, and just notice how your right side feels compared to your left. And then it's time for the other side. So when you're ready, we'll inhale, we'll raise the left arm this time, twist to look up at the hands. Exhale, thread it under the right, bring your left cheek or your left side of the face down. And then inhale and thread and lift and twist. Exhale to slowly thread. One more time, inhale all the way up. Exhale to thread. And once again, we're going to stay down, breathing normally, eking out anything that there might be in this left side. And then on the inhale, we'll come back up, we'll come back to tabletop and take a breath. And we'll move into our cat-cow just to check out how our spine is doing. We'll also feel it in the shoulders. And this is also a good one for our bellies, for bloating. So when we're ready, we're going to inhale, drop the belly, raise the tail, look up at the ceiling. We're going to exhale to round the spine, bring the chin to the chest, look towards your belly. Inhale, when you're ready, come back through. And exhale to slowly round. Keep this going for a few more breaths, following your own breathing rhythm. Not worrying about how fast or slow I'm moving, just move nice and gently as if you're massaging each vertebrae of your spine. Noticing if there's any tension, particularly in that lower spine where we tend to hold a lot of our stress. And then when you're ready, you're going to come back round. Excuse me, terrible tickle. We're going to come to sit down, this time with the legs out long. And we're going to do Uttanasana, which is our seated twist. So working a little bit more on those shoulders and also the extremities as well, the arms, the legs, the feet, the hands. So when you're ready, we're going to pick the right foot up. If we can, we're going to bring it over the left thigh. If that isn't available to you, you can sit on the inside of the thigh. So do what's right for you. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to place it behind us, palm down, and it will just make us sit a bit taller. Take your right elbow, press it in against the inner part of your right knee. Sit nice and tall, breathe in. And then as you exhale, we're going to turn and look over our left shoulder. And then we're going to breathe here in the twist. And as we sit here in the twist, not only should we feel it down the spine, but we want to feel the right elbow and the right knee almost resisting each other, pressing against each other. And when you've been here for a few moments, there might be a little give, so you could twist a tiny bit deeper, but don't force anything. It's fine to stay where you are, just keep breathing. When you're ready, you can breathe in. Exhale to slowly turn back to the center. Keep the legs where they are. Take both hands over to the opposite side and just lower the head a little bit. We're doing a little counter twist. And then we're going to return to the center. Gently unfold everything and give everything a little move. And then same on the other side. When you're ready, pick up the left foot. If you can, place it over the right thigh. Bring your right hand palm down behind you. Pop yourself up a bit taller. Left elbow inside that left knee. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, turn and look over your right shoulder. And then just breathe normally into your twist. Feeling your left elbow and left knee pressing against each other once again. And then maybe there's a little give if we turn a little deeper, or stay where you are, it's fine. And then we'll breathe in. We're going to exhale to turn back to the center. Bring both hands over to your left side this time, lowering the head slightly. Coming back up when you're ready. Releasing both legs. Give everything a little move. We're going to sit nice and tall with the toes pointing at the ceiling, the elbows in at the sides, and the palms facing up. We're going to do Paschimottanasana just to do a bit of release ahead of the weekend, to let go of anything that's no longer serving us. So when you're ready, tuck in the belly, and as you inhale, we're going to lean back. It could be a little bit, it could be a lot, whatever you want to do. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold forward, try and touch the toes. You can soften the knees a bit, let go of the head, hold the breath. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale, we're going to come all the way back again. We're going to exhale to fold. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back. Exhale to fold. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Final time. Inhale, maybe come a little bit further back if you can, tuck in the tummy in. Exhale to slowly fold. And this time we're not holding the breath. We're just going to stay here. We're going to breathe normally. You can bring your hands to your legs or to your mat. Let go of the head and the neck and the shoulders. Close your eyes. And with your head bowed forward, we're just going to breathe normally. And just let go of anything that you need to forgive, to forget, anything that doesn't serve you. Just release it with every breath. And then as you inhale, we can gently come back into seated. We're going to come down onto our backs. Keep your knees bent. We're going to do a little bit of a twist on our Ardha Matsyendrasana that we usually do. We're going to bring the feet as wide as the mat. You can bring your hands out to the sides in a T shape. As you, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to keep the feet where they are, but send both knees to the right, head to the left. So it's like a wide leg version of what we normally do. We're going to hold 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale to come back to the center. And we're going to exhale, send them over to the left. So the knees won't stay together, that's fine. We're going to hold 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale to come back. We're going to exhale over, hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back. Exhale over. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale to come back. We'll do one more on either side. Exhale over. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. And exhale. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale to come back. And then bring those knees into the chest for a cuddle. Or if you want to, you're welcome to rock from side to side, giving your back a little massage against your mat. And from here, we're going to move into Shavasana. So if you have any tenderness in the spine, bring your feet wide, let the knees knock together, and rest your hands. If your spine feels good, send your legs out long, let the feet flop to the sides. Now I'm going to sit up so I don't have a coughing fit and disturb your relaxation. We'll take a moment to get comfy, grab a blanket if you need to get warm, move around a little bit, shuffle those hips down so that the spine can sink down, and bring the hands a little bit away from the body so those shoulders can melt down as well. And when you're ready, soften your gaze and allow your eyes to gently close. Beginning to breathe in and out through your nose. Letting go of the shoulders, letting go of the hands and the feet. And just noticing how your body feels compared to how you felt half an hour ago. And once again, start to release those thoughts and bring quiet to the mind. And we're going to relax together. Each of your toes are now relaxed. The tops of both feet and the soles of both feet are relaxed. The heels and the ankles are relaxed. Your lower legs, your knees and your upper legs are relaxed. Both of your legs are completely relaxed. Your hips and your pelvis are relaxed. And your spine is relaxed vertebrae by vertebrae into your mat. Your stomach is relaxed. Your ribs are relaxed. Your chest and your collarbones are relaxed. The whole of your abdomen is now relaxed. Each of your fingers are relaxed. The palms of your hands and the tops of your hands are relaxed. Your wrists and the lower arms are relaxed. Your elbows and the upper arms are relaxed. Both of your arms are completely relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your neck and your jaw are relaxed. Your chin and your mouth are relaxed. Your eyes and nose are relaxed. And all of the muscles in your face are relaxed. Your forehead and the crown of your head is relaxed. Your entire body is relaxed into your mat. So for the next moment or so, continue to let go of those thoughts and enjoy your relaxation. Now you are welcome to stay where you are and enjoy a much deeper relaxation. But to bring the class to an end, I'll invite you, if you wish, to keep your eyes closed and move onto your side and just take some deep breaths. And then again, with your eyes closed, when you're ready, you can begin to push yourself up into a seated position. Any seated position that you find comfortable. And whenever you're there, you can sit tall. You can bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest and then very slowly blink your eyes open, gradually letting that light back in. Whenever you're ready, you can return to center. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that was good for you this evening, and I really hope to see you again next week. Have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.